Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I bought the world's most reliable car and I am returning it today. I have owned this car about 1 day and I'm gonna have to return it. So I purchased this GX470 for about $6,500 out the door. That includes the taxes and fees and everything. But the repair bills to get it up and going would double that amount to, I'd be in about $11,000 if I make the repairs. And for me, that's just too much. For other people that are super enthusiasts, that would be way worth it because this is the most reliable SUV ever made. What makes this car so reliable is the engine. It is known to be the most reliable engine ever made. So, what are the problems? It's the drivetrain. The last owners did the airbag delete to put it just on coilovers, but it seems they have used Forerunner parts, so the suspension and the bump stops are about this far apart. So every time you go over a bump, it just hits the bump stop and it makes a loud rattly noise and it's a racket. The other major issue with this car is that it has an axle leak and a differential leak. I have not had the differential leak diagnosed, but that can be somewhere between $200 to $2,000 to get fixed if I have to replace the whole differential. And with the axle leak, I would be replacing the whole axle because the seals are just blown apart. So all those issues combined just doesn't make this a worthy investment. I could take that money, buy something maybe a little bit better, like an LX or a Land Cruiser. But I do love the GX, the styling of the GX, the short wheelbase of the GX. So maybe I'll just end up buying another one where I don't have to replace the axle and differential. You can tell this thing's had a pretty long life. Now on the interior, it perfectly combines function and form. You have a screen that controls everything. Well, mostly everything. There are lots of buttons to control stuff from too. I mean, this is supposed to be a more rugged car. Seats are comfortable, and they have little armrests that are much better than the Range Rover ones where you have like the little stupid spinny thing. And the Mark Levinson sound system holds up pretty well for a 20-year-old car. Overall, the interior is probably my favorite part of this car. With the gear shifter and selector, it makes for a well-suited yet rugged interior. There aren't too many quirks up here. You do have a super cool selector where it will show you information like the temperature and even a barometer that shows how high you are from sea level. That's pretty cool. In the back, it's nothing too special. But you do have rear entertainment, but it's just audio. There is no screen on this trim level. There's also rear air conditioning back here as well. But the back is super comfortable, tons of leg room. And on my example, I have not cleaned it out, so it is pretty gross. Here in the boot, it comes with a Lexus toolkit. Mine still has the Lexus first aid kit. That's pretty cool. But the star of the show back here is the third row seat. It's pretty easy to put down. You just pop out the feet and then it locks into the locks and then you fold it down. But what makes it really unique is how it folds down from the side instead of modern SUVs that fold up from the front. But I like where they fold down from the side more than the front because it's more manly. Driving the GX is pretty nice, though I am not getting the full experience due to the bad suspension. But overall, I'd say it's pretty smooth, especially on these rough Utah roads. It's not a track star. It's not gonna handle amazing, but it gets down on the power. But the 0 to 60 is about as fast as my old Prius. I think like 8.6 seconds. But it gets the job done. You know, you don't buy it to go fast. You buy it to get where you need to go. Maybe not super quickly, but it's just the right amount of time. But you know, it's enough to keep up with traffic. You know, even with the bad suspension, I can tell this is a super comfortable car. There's a little bit of air noise, but I think that just comes with the age. When it was new, it was probably dead silent, and if you're willing to put in the work, it will be dead silent in here. Now, gas mileage is a shortfall on this car. It says I get 14 miles per gallon on average. So yeah, that's my short little review of the Lexus GX. Should you buy one? Yeah. If you can find one that doesn't need too much work out the door, or then for sure, I think you should go ahead and get one. I think this is a lot better suited than the Mercedes I recently reviewed. If you're looking for something rugged yet luxurious, then the Lexus GX is the SUV for you. One more quirk about back here. There's ashtrays in both back doors so the kids can smoke.